Moved Bronny James from the 2024 mock draft yesterday and now projects him to be selected in the second round of the moved from suffering a cardiac arrest during the summer is averaging. Y'all please just let the kid be a kid and enjoy college basketball. The work and results will ultimately do the talking no matter what he decides to do.
It didn't take a very long time for us to have an update on LeBron James Jr. or Bronny James. And I felt like in this particular instance, this update is a little ironic and it's very telling about what LeBron's future is gonna look like. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. My Super Bowl picks that I made in my content with the Patrick Mahomes free square didn't hit, but the one that I posted onto my story did hit, and you guys let me know how much money you made in my DMs. And now that the NFL season's over, we're officially directing our attention to the NBA. I give away my picks for free at TheFlightMike on Instagram, and right now when you sign up for Prize Picks, use promo code FlightMike to get up to a $100 deposit match when you sign up on Prize Picks. Or you can just use my link in the description down below. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I want to open up this video and comment on Bronny James the person because I cannot imagine the amount of pressure that is on this 18-year-old kid. On top of the pressure that he's experienced over the past 3 years, his year started out with heartbreak, quite literally. The man suffered cardiac arrest before his collegiate basketball season could even start. And for that, I just want to say that I'm happy he's okay, and I think we should practice extreme levels of empathy for this young man that is in a very privileged situation, but also almost lost his life. With that being said, I think this is one of the most captivating storylines in all of basketball because LeBron James immediately put a tremendous amount of pressure on Bronny from the moment he was born. Bronny's legitimate name is LeBron James Jr. To give your son your own name when you are arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, which is often debated, is already putting a tremendous amount of pressure on him. But throughout Bronny's youth, you would see interviews from LeBron James like this.
For Bronny's future. To be happy and find happiness in whatever it is that he does.
I want him to get to the NBA. I'm not even gonna lie. I want to be on the court with him. I think that would be an unbelievable moment.
Could you just sit back and think of how absurd it is? This is LeVar Ball-esque levels of expectations for your kid. His mom is saying,
I just want Bronny to be happy.
and it's like it cuts away to LeBron James in a very comical way where he says, I want him to play in the NBA. Your happiness, son. And this is something that he's echoed multiple times throughout the span of his career. And more recently, it's almost as if we get a yearly reminder that LeBron James wants to play with his son, even saying it on his own show, The Shop.
Who do you want to play with?
Bronny is number one on my list.
That's dope.
He's number one on my list that I want to
That's
play with for
legend.
sure.
And it's like as time goes on, LeBron hasn't really taken his foot off of the gas pedal, but there are indications that his son isn't really that much of a fan of the level of pressure that's being put on him. If you remember, LeBron James once gave this interview where he said, I need to be on the floor with my boy. I gotta be on the floor with Bronny, either in the same uniform or a matchup against him, but I would love to do the whole Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. thing. That would be ideal for sure. I asked him what are his aspirations, and he says he wants to play in the NBA. So if he wants to do it, he's got to put in the work. I'm here already, so I'm just waiting for him. I've done what I've had to do in this league, and my son is going to take his journey. And whatever his journey, however his journey lays out, he's going to do what's best for him. And as his dad and his mom Savannah and his brother and sister, we're going to support him in whatever he decides to do. So just because that's my aspiration or my goal doesn't mean it's his, and I'm absolutely okay with that. This story hasn't been coherent. I mean, when the Western Conference Finals ended and the Lakers got knocked out, LeBron James gave this interview.
But we'll see what happens going forward. I don't know. I got a lot to think about, to be honest. Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, got a lot to think about.
And then, before Bronny even stepped into the NBA, LeBron started hyping up Bryce Maximus James, which to be honest seems to be the more captivating LeBron James disciple, primarily because Bryce clearly got LeBron James's physical genes. I mean, as it stands, he's already 6'5", which is taller than Bronny, and his wingspan is crazy too. And for those of you guys that don't think LeBron James puts a tremendous amount of pressure on his sons, or people that are saying,
Mike, he took his foot off of the gas pedal after Bronny suffered cardiac arrest.
LeBron literally said 2 months ago that Bronny James could be playing for the Lakers right now. Now, of course, this is after the Lakers lost to one of the worst teams in the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies, but he said he could play for us right now. Easy, easy. Now, I don't know if this was meant to be an insult towards his Los Angeles Lakers teammates, because the demeanor of that post-game interview is, we suck right now, and we suck so badly that my son could play for us. I don't know if he meant that in a way to hype up his son a little bit more or add more pressure, but the reason we're bringing this up is this season hasn't gone according to plan for Bronny, and through no fault of his own. Once again, please look at this from a lens of him being in a life or death situation, and thankfully it was a situation where his life was saved, because cardiac arrest is so serious, way more serious than basketball, and obviously that'll affect an individual after returning to the basketball court. But currently, as it stands, there's a new twist to the Bronny James situation. You see, a year ago, when ESPN released its first mock in 2024, this is before Bronny suffered any sort of heart complications, Bronny was perceived as a top 10 selection in ESPN's first mock draft, which was significantly higher than many have expected based on his recruiting ranking. Now, bear in mind, this is before Bronny suffered any heart complications. This is before he decided to declare for USC or anything of that sort. But now, things are significantly different. Currently, Bronny James isn't even in the 2024 mock draft for ESPN. Rather, he's in the 2025 mock draft for ESPN. As a matter of fact, he's currently slotted as the 39th overall pick in ESPN's first mock draft for 2025. And the domino effect on this is huge, because on one hand, you have LeBron James coming out and ripping people that are putting pressure on his son. No, I'm serious. Saying, can y'all please just let the kid be a kid and enjoy college basketball? The work and results will ultimately do the talking no matter what he decides to do. If y'all don't know, he doesn't care what a mock draft says. He just works. Earned, not given. And the thing that's insane about this is, well,
Find happiness in whatever it is that he does.
I want him to get to the NBA.
What do you need to do in your career before you can hang it up?
I need to be on the floor with my boy. That would be ideal for sure. Being with him, spending a full year with him in the same uniform, that would be the icing on the cake.
So from that perspective, this scenario is insane, but it gets even crazier because on the very same day that we got this information, we also got a huge report in regards to LeBron James and his future, which in of itself is a huge story in basketball, which I'm shocked that nobody is picking up. And I think it deserves its own video in of itself. But LeBron James is looking for a multi-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the reason why this is significant is we got this information literally the same day we found out that Bronny was projected to declare in 2025. So Brian Windhorst says, I don't think this is LeBron's last stand. I don't think this is the Lakers' last stand. First off, I think LeBron is angling to sign a multi-year deal in the offseason with the Lakers that will be 9 figures. That will be even bigger than the deal he is on now. Now, whether or not he's able to finish that deal, whether or not the Lakers want to give him a 3-year contract and pay him $60 million when he's 42 years old, that's a different discussion. Now, the reason why this is complicated is the NBA's over 38 rule makes signing a long-term deal a difficult one for LeBron James. LeBron's already 39 years old. There are complications that come with signing a deal longer than a season. However, the Lakers and LeBron James do seem to be in sync on keeping their partnership together beyond this season. It's huge news and it can be very complicated, and a lot of it is based upon how long can LeBron keep this unprecedented statistical output for. We've never seen a 39-year-old player play at the level that LeBron James is currently playing. LeBron is averaging 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists while shooting 40% from 3, which is obscene for any player that is 39 years old. To give you an idea, Vince Carter was averaging 6.6 points per game off of 35% shooting from 3 when he was 39 years old, and Vince Carter played until he was 43, so it is doable. Kevin Garnett also played when he was at the age of 39, but he averaged 3.2 points per game. Just to give you an idea, idea of how these incredible basketball legends stack up versus LeBron James. So the fact that he wants to sign this big deal into his 40s is significant. Is it a mistake? Well, it deserves its own video. At the end of the day, Bronny James's decision, or the fact that Bronny James is projected for the 2025 NBA draft, is very significant. And as we said in our Bronny James documentary video, which we'll leave in the end screen, his decision is having a domino effect on the rest of the NBA. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about all this? Do you think LeBron is being a little ironic here by putting pressure on his kid? Do you think Bronny should wait until 2025 to declare? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.